Bullying, a problem that plagues many students in the United States. I read somewhere that something like 50% of students are bullied at some point in their life. While statistics like this are hard to verify, I know this to be fact. 100% of American students are taught insufficient ways to deal with bullying. Techniques such as ignore your bully and tell them you don't like what they're doing aren't only ineffective at stopping bullying, many times they just make matters worse. In the next 15 or so minutes, we are going to look to see what the techniques say will happen when used and what actually happens when the techniques are used, as recalled by people who were bullied as children and used these techniques. First, let's look to see how the education system explains bullies' motives.
The common reason that the education system will give for why kids are bullies is because they have significant emotional baggage, are victims of bullying themselves, or feel insecure in some other way. They then pick on you because that's how they deal with those problems. In my experience, that's only half true. The other half of the time, the bully is just a jerk that finds the pain of others to be enjoyable. He doesn't have emotional baggage, he isn't picked on by older relatives, he isn't insecure. He just wants to watch you suffer because it's fun to him. Here are a few easy-to-tell signs to know what type of bully you are dealing with. These may not be true in every situation, but they were true in my experience. The bully who is picking on you to make themselves feel better typically has these characteristics: little to no friends, general anger issues, and just looks sad or angry or some combination of both as they are picking on you. The just a jerk bully has friends, makes a show out of picking on you to his friends, and just looks like he's having loads of fun while picking on you.
Now remember, everyone is different, and your bully may not match these characteristics perfectly. You might even be able to think of a couple of characteristics yourself. The important thing to remember, though, is that not all bullies bully you for the same reason. Now, let's have a look at a simple bullying situation and the 4 techniques to deal with bullies that I was taught at your age.
This is Johnny. He's a 6th grader, and he gets bullied by Eric. We don't know exactly why Eric bullies Johnny, but he does. Johnny doesn't like it, and he's thinking about using the following techniques to stop bullying. For each technique, we will first show you what the technique is, next, what is supposed to happen when this technique is used, and finally, what really happens when this technique is used.
Ignore the bully.
Let's watch Johnny ignore Eric.
Sup, loser? Gonna pee your pants today? Huh? Remind you that you wear your big boy pants today? Such a baby.
Let's see what is supposed to happen when Johnny ignores Eric.
What's the matter, dummy? Huh? You're no fun anymore.
Eric has selected Johnny as his victim because he thinks Johnny is weaker than him and wants to get a reaction out of Johnny to reinforce that belief. This could be to make himself feel better or just for being fun. The idea behind ignoring Eric is that if Johnny doesn't give Eric a reaction, Eric will no longer see Johnny as weaker and will stop bullying him. Now let's have a look at what really happens.
What's the matter, loser? You can't hear me? Let me clean out your ear for you.
This is what really happens when ignoring bullies. When Johnny ignores Eric, he tells Eric, "You are going to have to try harder to get a reaction." And most of the time, that makes the bullying worse in the process. Eric does not want to lose his power over Johnny, and will try new methods of bullying until he gets a reaction, as you just saw. Now, instead of calling Johnny names, Eric will give Johnny wet willies. Johnny would have been better off reacting to the name calling.
Avoid the bully.
Let's watch Johnny avoid Eric.
Looks like it's half past wet willy.
Let's watch what is supposed to happen when Johnny avoids Eric.
What? Oh darn. Guess I can't bully him if he's not here.
The idea behind avoiding Eric is that he can't bully Johnny if Johnny isn't there. That makes sense. Now let's see what really happens when Johnny avoids Eric.
Well, I guess the chase is on.
This technique would work if Johnny could successfully keep a strong distance from Eric. Unfortunately, schools are typically not big enough to successfully avoid bullies. In many cases, bullies and victims are in the same classroom, making it impossible to successfully avoid the bully. Just like ignoring, bullies are not quick to give up their victim, and will likely enjoy the thrill of the chase.
Tell your bully you don't like being bullied.
Let's watch Johnny tell Eric he doesn't like being bullied.
Hey Eric, you're a bully. I don't like it when you pick on me. I want you to stop.
Let's see what's supposed to happen when Johnny tells Eric he doesn't like being bullied.
Wow, I never realized you didn't like it. I thought we were just goofing around and you were having as much fun as I was. I am deeply sorry, and I hope you can forgive me. I will no longer pick on you.
The idea here is that maybe Eric doesn't realize that Johnny doesn't like what he's doing to him. Eric might just think it's all fun and games, and Johnny is just playing along. Once Eric knows the truth, he will stop. Now let's see what really happens when Johnny tells Eric he doesn't like being bullied.
Do you think I actually care what you think? You're dumber than I thought.
Eric knows he is being mean to Johnny. It doesn't matter if it's to make himself feel better or to just have mean fun. Eric knows Johnny doesn't like it. And now that Eric is certain that Johnny doesn't like it, he will probably bully Johnny even more because he knows Johnny doesn't like it.
Tell an adult.
Let's watch Johnny tell an adult about Eric's bullying.
Mr. Smith, Eric is bullying me.
Let's watch what's supposed to happen when Johnny tells an adult.
This is unacceptable. Come with me. Eric, it's come to my attention that you've been bullying Johnny. You have 5 years detention, and if this continues, you'll be put in jail.
Golly, Mr. Smith, those are some harsh punishments. I'll never bully Johnny ever again.
In theory, this is the last and final step to dealing with bullies, and will put an end to it once and for all. Mr. Smith, like other adults, has the power to put a stop to bullying. Adults are supposed to understand the problem and solve it for you if you can't on your own. Now let's see what really happens when Johnny tells an adult.
Well, Johnny, you're just gonna have to ignore Eric. What he's doing isn't actually harming you. Now run along.
As much as adults like to say they understand, most of the time they don't actually understand. They have been adults for so long they forgot what it's like to be a kid. Your bully might tease you every day by saying, "Don't forget your shoes," because you forgot your shoes one day in the sandbox. Or maybe your bully sits too close to you and makes you feel uncomfortable. To you, these things are hurtful, but adults don't think of them as hurtful. They just don't understand how those things can ruin your day. Unless your bully is stealing your lunch money or physically hurting you to the point of needing to see a doctor, they will think you just aren't dealing with the situation properly and will send you right back to step one, and the bullying will not stop. However, there is one more danger with telling an adult, one that goes unresolved, can't be stopped, and is sometimes encouraged by adults. Even if Eric stopped bullying Johnny after he told Mr. Smith, the following would still happen.
You tattled on Eric, tattletale!
No, I didn't. I just told an adult about being bullied.
Tattletale, 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 tattletale.
I was being bullied. You're supposed to tell an adult when you're being bullied.
Mr. Smith, help me. They won't stop calling me Tattletale.
Well, Johnny, if you didn't want to be called a tattletale, you shouldn't have tattled.
Tattletale, 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 tattletale.
Hey, look! He's crying!
Cry, baby, tattletale! Cry, baby, tattletale! Cry, baby, tattletale!
Tattletale. No one likes a tattletale. Tattletale is one of the worst things any kid can be called. It is the only name calling where the one doing the name calling is never punished. Johnny was just telling an adult about being bullied like he was supposed to, but instead of fixing the problem, it only made things worse. Much worse.
Now, the adults that made these techniques really did want to stop bullying. They thought that maybe these would actually work. The problem, though, is that they were likely never bullies or were bullied themselves, so they don't know what it's actually like. That, or it happened so long ago that they forgot what it was like to be a bully or be bullied. So if these techniques don't work, what hope do you have at stopping your bullying problem? Well, I'm about to share with you 2 techniques that I have found to work in the past. Now, I can't guarantee that these will work for every situation, but with these, you actually have a chance at stopping your bullying problem.
Befriend your bully.
Let's watch what happens when Johnny and Eric discover that they have common interests. Please note that this only works for the bully that is insecure and is only bullying you to feel better about themselves.
Hey nerd, what you playing?
Pokemon Y?
Let me see.
Come on, I'm really far. I'm almost done.
How'd you get the other half of Lumio City lit up?
What do you care?
Well, I play Pokemon Y too, and I'm stuck. All the walkthroughs I looked at online weren't any help. So maybe...
Well, if you want, bring your 3DS tomorrow and I can see what I can do.
So, I was wondering, does Splash ever do anything?
Oh, you got a lot to learn. I'll see you tomorrow.
Alright. See you tomorrow.
Now I know what you're thinking, but I hate my bully. I don't want to be his friend. How will being his friend stop the bullying? Let me remind you that this technique only works if your bully is bullying you to make himself feel better. In this situation, Eric doesn't have any friends and is picking on Johnny because nothing else makes him feel good. However, when Eric found out that Johnny also likes Pokemon and found someone he can finally talk to about his interests, he no longer felt like he had to bully Johnny.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. This adult doesn't know what he's talking about, just like the other adults. I bet befriending your bully doesn't even work. And I understand why you would think that. But believe me, it works. I used this in the past and am now good friends with my former bully. And I would also like to remind you that this only works if your bully is the kind of bully that just needs a friend, and should only be used if you really do share something in common with your bully. If your bully is bullying you just because they think your opinions are entertaining, or if you don't share anything in common with your bully, well, this technique will probably stop your bullying problem once and for all.
Beat up your bully.
Let's see what happens when Johnny takes a stand and fights back against Eric.
Haha, look at him squirm. Ah, little nerd baby. Oh, I'm gonna cry, what a nerd. Whoa!
You're a terrible person. You think you're so tough. You make my life a living hell. Hey, tough guy. Look who's on top now. I'm never taking your crap again. Never, ever, ever. I hate you. You are trash. Never bully me again.
Alright, I'll leave you alone from now on.
Eric picked on Johnny because Eric perceived Johnny as being weaker than him and therefore a perfect victim. When Johnny fought back, he demonstrated that he wasn't going to be a victim anymore. Johnny is probably going to be punished, but since Eric won't be bullying him anymore, it was worth it to him.
Now, I'm not saying that you should fight someone anytime that they're annoying you. Sometimes people do things that they don't know is annoying. If they are not paying attention to see if they get a reaction out of you, chances are they're not bullying you and will stop if you ask them to stop. However, if they are watching you to see how you react, they are trying to annoy you and are in fact bullying you. Now, I can't guarantee that these techniques will work in every bullying situation. Sometimes you can't befriend your bully, and sometimes you can't successfully beat up your bully. However, these techniques are more effective at stopping bullying than the other 4 techniques that are commonly taught. Thank you for spending this time with me. Let's stop bullying with techniques that actually work.